What is up, people? I am back with another build video. This time we are looking at the Herald, and I must say, this is competitive for me with the Reaper, which is a first in forever. I love this guy. And though I'm kind of sad because I do like only having one main character, at least if one of them gets nerfed, I'll always have the other one. So, given that, let's look at the build that I've kind of been using. I use Herald, obviously. I use Devastation, I use Invocation. Devastation does focus on the Assassin stance, which is my secondary stance. Invocation focuses on switching between stances, which, when I am going a more support route, I do tend to use more of. Or, I mean, more of a DPS route, my bad. I'm not going to explain all the skills and everything. This is supposed to be a quick guide. But the traits I will kind of get into. Radiant Revival is more of a supporting thing, just, preventing allies that are being revived by me to take damage. Shared Empowerment, it gives more might than the traditional Facet of Strength, so the two of them together produce a shitload of might for allies. Elder's Force, bonus damage per boon, which obviously we get a lot of boons, so that's extra damage. As the Devastation tree, since I always have swords equipped, whether it's sword offhand or shield offhand, sword is always my main hand, unless I need the hammer for range. So I tend to keep Vicious Laceration on at all times. Assassin's Presence I keep on at all times for the extra ferocity. And Swift Termination is more extra damage. For Invocation, I get condition removal for invoking a legend. I get Fury for breaking out of a stun, which, since invoking a legend breaks a stun, whenever I need to break a stun, I just invoke a legend and I get free Fury. And then I get double effectiveness from Fury. Now, what this build basically does is it's constant might up, it's constant fury up, it can have, for the most part, constant regeneration up, or a lot of regeneration up. And swiftness, if I want it up all the time. Protection, I don't tend to use a lot, but... And then, obviously, boon duration I can have with Facet of Nature. So, right now I have Berserker, I have the Berserker amulet equipped just for this demonstration. I use Rune of Strength on this because I have so much might that having the 5% damage while under the effects of might just makes sense. Sigil of Night I tend to have equipped because I always play during the evenings, and then Sigil of Force, Sigil of Air, something else that tends to be highly popular. So I do play this guy two different ways for the most part. If I'm playing a more damagey mode, let me start with support mode. If I'm playing support mode, there's really not much to talk about. I use Facet of Strength, and I have Facet of Strength and I have Facet of Darkness open at all times. When I'm in support mode, I also have Facet of Nature on at all times. So, constant boon duration, constant fury, constant might. I'll activate Facet of Light if I need the regeneration for my allies, and I just kind of use facets when I need them. I don't really switch to Assassin stance much when I'm in support mode because I use Assassin's stance for when I'm doing damage, but there's no reason to switch out of Dragon stance all that often because I don't actually activate my facets all that much in support mode. I just keep them on to buff people. I don't tend to use them, so I tend to just kind of sit in Dragon stance. I keep my might up with Unrelenting Assault and just hack away. If I'm in damage mode, I tend to play a little differently. I won't use Facet of Nature. I'll actually keep that off. I'll have these three, I'll have 6, 7, and 9 active, or, Strength, Darkness, and Light. That does bring my initiative to, or I keep calling it initiative, what the fuck? I keep my upkeep, it's stagnant. You can see, as I start using it, it'll go away. Regeneration doesn't always need to be up, but since I am in damage mode with Berserker's Gear, it is a nice idea to have it up. What I tend to do is I just go in, I burn down my initiative using my 3 skill, my auto attack, and my other skills as I need them. Once I get down to kind of the end, I'll activate my facets, and I'll switch to Assassin's mode. At that point, I kind of have a timer. I tend to stay in Assassin's mode as long as I can, given that I keep my might, my fury, and my regeneration is not as important, but might and fury are the big ones. I'll auto attack and use 3 as long as I can until I start to kind of get to that end point there, maybe about halfway through Fury's duration. I'll then activate my Impossible Odds to get the quickness. I'll damage the shit out of the enemies. If I need to use any other skills while I'm in Assassin stance, like my heal or Jade Winds, I will. And then as soon as it gets to the end, I switch back to Dragon stance, reactivate my facets, so I don't lose anything. I'll try to demonstrate that, even though these guys are going to die faster than I can do anything. So I know my assassin stance is ready, so I come in, I start dealing damage. I'm hacking, slashing away. I'm hacking, slashing away. I move on to my next target. You can see I'm at about 30% now. I can go for a little longer. I'm going to save it for my 3 just to keep my might up. I got to target somebody to use this. Now that it's under 20, I'm going to activate my facets 6, 7, 9. Switch to Assassin Stance. As you can see, I got to keep an eye on my Fury and my Might. I can build up an upkeep for a while here before I have to actually go using. Now that I'm about halfway through, I'm going to activate my Quickness. I'm going to start hacking away really heavily now. I don't want to waste any initiative, but I don't want to lose that Fury. I'm going to have to switch early, but that's fine. Activate my Facets again quickly. The only one I have to wait on is my Regeneration one, but that's fine. Use my 3 again, because I forgot to use it before. And rinse and repeat is basically the gist of that. Is just rotate through that over and over and over again. Because with this Might and Fury, with the Quickness from Legendary Assassin Stance, you haul through enemies. It's really not even funny at all how fast you hack and slash things. That's basically it, guys. I don't really have that much else to say. Damage, Assassin Stance, get your Quickness, hack away till your initiative's gone or these boons start to go away. I just activated Facet of Nature accidentally, that's fine. When you can, switch back, reactivate your Facets, and go to town. I will note that I do believe if you don't actually use the ability attached to the Facet, they won't lose their cooldowns. So, I tend to use Burst of Strength and Gaze of Darkness anyway, because by the time I get out of Assassin Stance, they're reloaded and ready to go. So, that's all for this time, guys. Like and subscribe for more content. Leave a comment with additional tips for players below. I have nothing else to say other than that. I will see you guys next time.